So you're looking to perform better in Call of Duty Search and Destroy? Well, I have the perfect loadout for you. If you're not using this loadout, then it automatically puts you at a disadvantage. So stay tuned as we show you the best attachments you need to be using for these weapons. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Disrupt Gaming Call of Duty video. Today we are going to be going over the best class for Search and Destroy in Call of Duty Cold War, and we're mainly going to be focusing on the weapon, the AK-47. I know a ton of players have been using it, and it's sort of meta at this point. So let's go ahead and get into these perks and what attachments you need to be putting onto this weapon. But before I do that, I just have to ask, what is your favorite camo in Call of Duty Cold War so far? It could be a zombies one, it can be a multiplayer one. Just let me know in the comments of this video. Anyways, let's go ahead and get right into this class loadout. So starting out, our primary weapon will be the AK-47. Let's go ahead and enter into the gunsmith. So to start, let's talk about the optic. I went ahead and put the Microflex LED just because I like the look of it. I like the 1.25 times magnification. I don't think that it's too much. I don't think that it's too little. I feel like it's right in that perfect slot. Another great option that I do know of is the Millstop Reflex. It's also a pretty good option. Anything with like flex in the name is sort of kind of good. Just go ahead and choose whichever one, because this is a personal choice. Whichever one you see best fit. Anyways, moving on, let's go to the muzzle. For the muzzle, we will be sticking the KGB Eliminator on there. This muzzle device reduces flash and vents gases to the sides to reduce muzzle climb. The pros that we will get with this is a plus 85% muzzle flash concealment, so players won't see when you're scoping in. A plus 17% vertical recoil control, which is always good. And the only cons that we receive is a minus 10% shooting move speed and a minus 10% horizontal recoil control. So, however, the cons are kind of sucky because minus 10%, not great. But just the fact that we are controlling that vertical recoil is always great, because if you're using this thing from long distances, it will more often than not have problems with the vertical recoil compared to the horizontal recoil. So I went ahead, stuck the KGB Eliminator on here. Now next up, let's talk about the barrel. The barrel for this one, I have the 18.2 inch VDV reinforced. And this one, we will receive we'll receive 2 pros, plus 100% effective damage range. So basically we can shoot players from farther away. And then a plus 40% bullet velocity. So our bullets will be traveling faster. The only cons that we receive is a minus 4% sprinting move speed and a minus 20% aim walking movement speed. So yeah, we are moving a bit slower, but in Search and Destroy, it's a lot less reliant on speed and more on that precision and just being able to outthink your opponents. Moving on from the barrel, we now have the body. And for this one, this is probably the most important attachment that you guys are going to go ahead and place onto the AK-47, that being the Tiger Team Spotlight. This is a powerful spotlight with a longer reaching beam, reveals enemy data from longer distances. So plus 40% reveal distance is amazing. And that's why you're going to want to have this one on. And then the only con that we get is a minus 10% sprint to fire time. So I really love this attachment. This is probably one of the most important attachments on the weapon. So be sure to go ahead and place this one on there. Moving right along, we now have our underbarrel, and we're going to be going with the Spetsnaz grip. The reason why we're going to go ahead and do this is because, first of all, we get a plus 6% vertical recoil control, which, if you guys remember, we already got plus 14%. Then we're also getting an additional plus 20% horizontal recoil control. So when we go back to the muzzle, we can see that we already lost 10% of that, but we basically make up for it with our underbarrel. And the only con that we receive is a minus 26% shooting move speed. So, I mean, you're moving a bit slower, but we already explained speed is not always key in Search and Destroy. The next thing that's up is our magazine, and this is where things change. If you're playing with more players, you will want to go with the 50 round mag, and you're going to want to go with this one, the Bake Light 50 round mag. And then the other one that you're going to consider is the 40 round mag. And you are going to be using this one in case you want to play against smaller players. So like if the map just isn't as large and you're playing against less players. And we're going to go ahead and go with the speed mag for this one. So plus 30%, like you guys see the ammo, you guys see how it improves. You start with 30 mags or ammos, and then you can improve to 50. It's pretty great. You just lose, you decrease on your aim down sights time and then your reload speed quickness. Now moving on, let's talk about the handle. For the handle, we have the Gru elastic wrap. The reason why I went ahead and put that one on there is just because we're able to drop shot on it. So those players that you really like to drop shot, this attachment is perfect for you. You also get a plus 30% aim down sight time, which should help out in some of our cons of the other attachments. And we also get plus 90% flinch resistance, so we won't be flinching as much. The only cons that we will receive with this attachment is minus 10% shooting move speed and then minus 15% sprint to fire speed. Overall, a pretty good attachment for the weapon. Now let's move on to the handle. For the handle, I went ahead and we already talked about that. So now the stock. For the stock, I went ahead and put the KGB skeletal stock. The reason why I put this one on there is because we only lose minus 30% hip fire accuracy, and I don't find myself using the AK to hip fire all that much unless players get close, and that's actually going to be why we have our secondary weapons. So I tend to not really hip fire. This is more for like long ranges, and the pros that I get with this is plus 30% sprint to fire time, plus 40% aim walking movement speed. So basically this is making up for all of our speed that we lost in the cons. So that is it for the attachments on the AK-47. But now let's go ahead and talk about that secondary weapon, and that being the Gallo SA-12. The reason why I put this here is that, I mean, nobody likes a camper in COD, but this is the best weapon if you're going to go ahead and camp. So anyways, in the gunsmith, I've already talked about this in the past. This is one of my favorite secondary weapons, and that's why you guys just need to know this loadout class. So anyways, on the muzzle, infantry V-choke, this is just going to give us plus 77% ADS spread. And then moving on to the barrel, 24.8 inch task force, we get plus 81% damage, and we just lose 13% of effective damage range. So basically, as long as the players are pretty close to you, then you're perfectly fine. Now with the body, I went ahead and threw on the steady aim laser just so that we get that hip fire accuracy, because for those of you that don't like scoping in with your shotguns, this is going to help you out. For the magazine, I went ahead and put the 9-round tube, basically just increases the ammo, and we only lose our reload quickness. And then the handle, of course, is going to be our drop shot attachment, and that is going to be the airborne elastic wrap. We get plus 30% aim down sight speed, plus 90% flinch resistant, and then we have the ability to aim while going prone. And of course, our only cons, minus 10% shooting move speed, minus 15% sprint to fire time. Guys, that is it for the attachments. Now let's go quickly over our tactical, our lethal, field upgrade, and all that. So first of all, I put this stem shot because if you can win one encounter, you want to be full health as quickly as possible. Go ahead and put that one in there. And then the Semtax, perfect. Probably the best lethal weapon in the game, in my opinion. So go ahead, throw that one in there. And then I feel like the nades are kind of overpowered in Cold War, and they're just so dominant. So I went ahead and put the trophy system so that you don't have to worry about them. For my perks, I went ahead and put Flak Jacket, because Flak Jacket, you take less damage from enemy explosives and Molotov and combat bow flames. I hate explosives, that's why I put Flak Jacket. Another good option is, of course, the tactical mask, just in case you keep on getting flashbanged or stunned. For perk number 2, I went ahead and put Tracker, and this is just going to allow you to see enemy footprints. And then finally, for perk number 3, we are going Ninja. You're able to sprint more quietly, and you're resistant to field mics. So overall, this is our loadout. And then it ends up with our wild card, which is Gunfighter, and that allows us to unlock 3 additional attachment slots for our primary weapon. Guys, just want to say thank you so much for watching, and if you want more class loadouts, then be sure to subscribe with notifications on so that you never miss any of our daily content. That's going to be it for me today. Thank you all for watching all the way through this video, and I will catch you all in the next one.